Hey guys, it's Mariana, and today I'm going to be talking about Sicario. Sicario is directed by Denis Villeneuve, who is quickly becoming one of my favorite directors. You may remember him from directing Enemy and Prisoners, and he actually is directing the upcoming Blade Runner sequel, which I'm not super excited about, but if there was anybody who could do it right, I think Denis Villeneuve is the right man for the job. This movie stars Emily Blunt, Josh Brolin, and Benicio del Toro, and it is a very intense thriller. Kate, who is played by Emily Blunt, is an FBI agent. She is idealistic, she wants to do the right thing, and after witnessing a tragedy that happens in the beginning of the movie, you probably saw it in the trailer, she is very passionate about finding the people who are responsible for these horrible things. And she volunteers to be a part of this special task force led by Josh Brolin's character. She doesn't really know what she's getting into. She knows they are a special group focused on fighting the war against drugs, and she is very much interested in finding the people responsible for the earlier event, so she just goes for it. And there she also meets Alejandro, who is a consultant in this group, and he's played by Benicio del Toro, and he is a little bit shady. We don't know much about his past, and even though she tries to get some answers, she doesn't really get any. I'm going to tell you right away, I loved this movie and I will remember it for a really long time, and it really made a huge impression on me. So if it is playing anywhere near you, you should definitely check it out. I was initially a little bit frustrated by the fact that we don't really know what's going on. We're kind of in Kate's shoes, and even though she keeps trying to dig for answers, nobody explains anything to her. Nobody tells her what's going on, what they're doing, why they're there, what did she get herself into. But later on, this makes perfect sense, so you just kind of have to go with that whole thing. Even though withholding information is not my favorite thing when it comes to storytelling, in this movie, it actually makes a lot of sense. Of course, the performances in this film are fantastic. Emily Blunt is amazing. Her character is actually really interesting, and it is really easy for a character like Kate to be a bit one-dimensional, but she's definitely somebody who is strong and fighting for the right thing, but is also vulnerable and has fears and concerns, so she's not a one-dimensional character, and Emily Blunt plays it beautifully. Josh Brolin's character, which by the way, this is apparently a Josh Brolin week because I just talked about Everest, where he is also one of the lead characters. His character actually ended up being a bit of a mystery because at first you think you know exactly what kind of guy he is, but as the time goes on, you obviously realize that everything is not as simple as it seems, and by the end of the movie, you kind of start feeling that you don't really know much about him personally, so that's a little bit unsettling. And then Benicio del Toro is fantastic. I do hope there's a nomination for some of these people, but definitely for him and for Emily Blunt. His character, I just could not take my eyes off. I can't really talk much about him because a lot about his character gets revealed later on in the movie, but even when you don't know much about him, you can tell there's a lot going on there. Sicario is beautifully shot. Every scene you see is kind of a gritty piece of art, and it is just amazing to watch. The soundtrack is absolutely perfect because it has this really ominous quality to it that fits the tone of the movie perfectly, and there's a lot of tension in this movie. It slowly builds and slowly escalates, but throughout the entire thing, you are just kind of on edge trying to figure out what's going on, and you are concerned about the characters because nobody ever feels safe. You are invested in these people, you're invested in the storyline, and what's interesting is that Sicario really works on two different levels. First of all, it works as a thriller, and you can watch it as a straight-up thriller and really enjoy it, and it's gonna be good. But you can also dig deeper and look for deeper meaning and look for the commentary that the director definitely put in there. You want to kind of analyze it and figure out who the real victims are and who the main victims are, and that makes it even more interesting. And you guys know I love when movies do that. As I mentioned earlier, Sicario really blew me away, and it is masterfully done. From the visuals to characters to storytelling, it tells you right in the beginning that Sicario in Mexico means hitman, and then you get greeted by this pretty graphic and gritty scene. It is not gratuitous, it fits within the movie and you just know what kind of movie you're in for. It also has some very interesting use of night vision and thermal camera, and it is probably one of the best uses of that in the movie that I've ever seen. It was actually a really cool scene. It is towards the end, so I can't really tell you much about it, but it is a scene that I enjoyed, and I normally don't enjoy the whole night vision thing that gets inserted into movies. I am giving this movie 5 out of 5 stars, which doesn't happen too often on my channel, so you should know how much I loved it from that rating. That's it for my review of Sicario. If you guys have seen this movie already, please let me know what you thought in the comments below. I would love to talk to you about it. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow with my review of Black Mass. Bye!